Kevin Durant is on the move once again. On June 22nd, the final day of the NBA season, Durant was traded to the Houston Rockets, ending a tumultuous tenure with the Phoenix Suns. Durant was a star in Phoenix, but in recent months, he had been the subject of many trade rumors. In fact, around the trade deadline, there was rumors going around that Durant could return to his old team, the Golden State Warriors, in a trade. But that trade ultimately did not happen, with Durant remaining in Phoenix for the rest of the season. Durant staying was not a surprise, and even he himself said he did not want to be moved. But now, a new report by Athlon Sports reveals a big reason why Durant did not want to go back to Golden State. Durant had issues playing for Steve Kerr. In the new report, it is revealed that Steve Kerr was a big reason why Durant did not want to play in Golden State again, with Durant apparently taking issue with Kerr's offensive style in his final season with the team back in 2018-19. Durant had a very notable shouting match with Warriors star Draymond Green during that season that many believe contributed to his departure, but as it turns out, it was much deeper than that. Durant's exit from the Bay Area arguably had more to do with his issues with Steve Kerr than any shouting match with Green, Athlon writer Logan Murdoch wrote. Durant repeatedly complained both publicly and privately about Kerr's offensive principles during his final season with the Warriors, and he continued to do so even after he left for Brooklyn. The two have since reconciled, but league sources identify Kerr as among the reasons Durant opted not to return to Golden State at the trade deadline. If Durant had returned to Golden State, the team would have never gotten Jimmy Butler, whose addition ended up being the key to a successful season. But one can only imagine what would have happened if Durant rejoined the team, with 2 championship rings to show for it last time around. Durant's career after leaving the Warriors. After leaving the Warriors, Durant signed a contract with the Brooklyn Nets, and after missing his first season with the team due to recovering from a torn Achilles, he returned in 2020-21 and became an instant star for the Nets. Playing in 35 games for the team in his first season, he averaged 26.9 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 5.6 assists, helping the Nets reach the Eastern Conference semifinals. In 2021-22, Durant put together his best season since his MVP campaign in 2014, averaging 29.9 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 6.4 assists. However, disagreements with the franchise's front office led to him being traded to the Phoenix Suns midway through the 2022-23. Durant then went on to play 2.5 seasons with Suns, but after failing to reach expectations and with a desire to retool their roster, Durant was traded to the Rockets, where he is expected to be the team's new superstar player in their quest for an NBA championship. Veteran forward Kevin Durant did not want to reunite with the Golden State Warriors due to his contentious relationship with head coach Steve Kerr, according to The Ringer's Logan Murdoch. In the aftermath of Durant's trade to the Houston Rockets, Murdoch reported that Durant's refusal to reunite with Golden State had less to do with Draymond Green, with whom he had an infamous dust-up, and more to do with his issues with Kerr. Durant's exit from the Bay Area arguably had more to do with his issues with Steve Kerr than any shouting match with Green, Murdoch wrote. Durant repeatedly complained both publicly and privately about Kerr's offensive principles during his final season with the Warriors, and he continued to do so even after he left for Brooklyn. The two have since reconciled, but league sources identify Kerr as among the reasons Durant opted not to return to Golden State at the trade deadline. Kevin Durant refutes report. In typical Durant style, the 15-time All-Star took to X to call out Murdoch over his story, suggesting that the writer was trying to gain attention with a false report. Are we still on this? Obvious opportunity for Logan Murdoch to gain even more attention and try to revive his career by using my name and the Warriors. The audience is sick and tired of the same bullshit narrative. Be better, my man. Murdoch responded with an NSFW response and a more direct one. Kerr addressed Durant's rejection. Kerr previously addressed Kevin Durant's decision to reject a Warriors reunion at the 2024-25 NBA trade deadline.
In a chat,
the veteran coach told ESPN's Om Youngmisuk that he did not blame Durant for his decision, given the backlash he faced for joining a 73-win Warriors team in 2016. I don't blame Kevin one bit for not wanting to rerun things here, Kerr said in February 2025. He took so much S for oh, you're jumping on the bandwagon. When he signed with Golden State as a free agent in 2016. And then he's Finals MVP 2 years in a row. It's like he still gets criticized. So, why would he want to face all that BS again? At the time, Durant refused Kerr's theory, noting that he wasn't interested in changing teams mid-season. He also spoke glowingly about his time with the Warriors and hinted that he was more than open to reuniting with Stephen Curry and company. People talk crazy about me all the time, Durant told ESPN's Malika Andrews. That's not the reason why I didn't want to come back. I just didn't want to get traded midway through the season. It was nothing against my time with the Warriors, or I heard because I didn't like Draymond. At the end of the day, I just didn't want to move, and I wanted to see it through with my team in Phoenix and see what we can do the rest of the season. I'm glad I'm still there. When Durant made those comments, some felt that a reunion with the Warriors was still on the cards. However, the 36-year-old listed the Rockets, Spurs, and Heat as his 3 preferred destinations in the 2025 offseason, leading to his trade to Houston. 2 years after being traded by the Golden State Warriors to the Washington Wizards, Jordan Poole has once again found himself on the move as one of multiple trades made in the NBA over the past 24 hours. Poole is now on his way to the New Orleans Pelicans in a trade centered around he and veteran guard CJ McCollum, but it's actually another, less notable player who should pique the interest of the Warrior front office. Kelly Olynyk could become a target again for the Warriors. Veteran big man Kelly Olynyk is part of yet another deal, having previously been moved by the Toronto Raptors to the Pelicans in the Brandon Ingram trade just prior to February's mid-season deadline. The 34-year-old now adds to what is a very interesting Wizards roster that possesses a lot of young talent, yet also holds veterans like Olynyk, McCollum, Chris Middleton, and Marcus Smart on expiring contracts. Given Washington's priority to develop their youth and provide as much playing time to them as possible, it's likely that the aforementioned veteran quartet find themselves on the trade block or even as potential buyout candidates. Olynyk has been a player that the Warriors have been linked to extensively over the past 18 months, dating back to the 2024 midseason trade deadline where they had conversations with the Utah Jazz, according to Anthony Slater of The Athletic, before the Canadian was moved to the Raptors. Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report mentioned Olynyk as a name to monitor for Golden State in January, then did so again most recently last month where he also listed Nikola Vucevic and Brook Lopez as potential targets this offseason. The Warriors need to add size and shooting, and Olynyk could still fit the bill as the options dwindle following Kristaps Porzingis' move to the Atlanta Hawks. Olynyk played reasonably well for the Pelicans in a 25-minute-per-game role following his arrival, averaging 10.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 3.6 assists, while shooting 50% from the floor and 38.9% from three-point range. While not a starting center by any means, the 6 feet 11 inches big man would give Steve Kerr and Golden State some more optionality in the front court with his offensive skill set. Olynyk's expiring $13.4 million contract certainly makes him a very real trade possibility for the Warriors, though a buyout would be an even better result to ensure they don't have to give up assets in a trade. The Wizards are set to be Olynyk's 8th team in his 12 NBA seasons, with the former 13th overall pick holding career averages of 10.2 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 2.5 assists on 48.6% shooting from the floor and 37.1% from three-point range.